I have been working in US for the last 7 years now, working as a data science architect. I build AI platforms for AI scientists and researchers. One day, John came to me and said, "Hey, why don't we start a company together?" And I was like, I really like the idea. Yes, we do sponsor visa. We have training for which we have a bunch of trainers.
Hi Ram, I welcome you to my Indian Immigrants Abroad series. Thank you so much for joining us today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure, Afsana. Thank you very much for inviting me to your Indian Immigrants Abroad series. My name is Ram Varnakavi. I have been working in US for the last 7 years now. Currently, I'm working as a data science architect. I'm currently living in Dallas, Texas.
Can you tell us more about your profile?
Sure. I build AI platforms for AI scientists and researchers so that they can do their AI-based researches.
I know you have been an entrepreneur for a pretty long time. Can you tell us how your journey as an entrepreneur started?
Sure. So back in 2015, the word data science doesn't exist. At that time, everything is analytics and advanced analytics, right? Even I've done my master's in business analytics. During my master's time, I've encountered a lot of different companies and they're really thriving towards analytics. I really saw that as a business opportunity and I convinced my cousin that, hey, why don't we start a company together? And that's how Ulytics conceived.
What does Ulytics do?
So U means yours and lytics is coming from the word analytics. So your analytics is actually intended meaning for that. I formed this company with an intention to focus only on the analytics side of business. And that happened for a couple of years. And we keep getting a lot of projects. The business is doing really great. Our journey started off with a startup company. So that's our first client. And then we also got a bunch of contracts from the US, Dubai as well. Right now, 2 projects going on in the financial domain. That's about the project side of things. In order to finish these projects, I had to take up the role of training people as well. So I've trained a bunch of data scientists. I've almost done like about 6 to 8 batches of the data science training so far, 4 batches of data science with AWS. So I'm also an AWS solutions architect. That helped me to introduce students to the cloud side of the development and how the data science happens on the cloud. In this process, we kind of actually corrupted as we keep getting opportunities, because we've got a lot of web development opportunities. We got an app development opportunities as well, some infrastructure develop opportunities. And even I've changed over the years. I've started my career as a data scientist and now I'm a data science architect. As a startup, you need to pivot. Because of that, we had to actually take up different projects to keep our revenues going on. We diverged into multiple areas and sometimes our clients want to hire some of our members after completion of the project, and we gave away some of our employees as well. The clients which we served, they asked us to do some staffing for them to help them hire more people. We were like, okay, yeah, that's also another business opportunity, so we've done some staffing as well. It's a mix of literally everything right now that we are doing.
I know that you have another company which is Accrescent Group. So when Ulytics was there, why Accrescent?
There's one more thing that I learned actually through my experience, that staffing is really important for your company. Staffing can get you a lot of turnover, which in turn will helps you to get really big projects. So it helps you to grow your company multifolded. I came across a good friend called John. He has been my advisor during that time. He has almost like 20 years of experience in staffing, and he really been helpful in clearing some of my challenges with staffing. Then one day, John came to me and said, "Hey, why don't we start a company together?" And I was like, I really like the idea because he has the staffing expertise. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I wanted to bring structure into this entire operations. And that's the reason Accrescent was born. In the Accrescent Group, the Accrescent name is chosen because that means it's constantly growing. We wanted to focus on multiple areas in a more structured fashion. We have different verticals within it. like business consulting vertical, a product development vertical. We also have a product idea that we are currently working on. Then we have training, for which we have a bunch of trainers teaching data science with AWS and also DevOps. The third part is the staffing part, which will be headed by John. This is more structured. Once any of these verticals get bigger, then these can be spun up into multiple child companies, similar to Google. Google has Alphabet as the parent company and you have multiple child companies. That way I want to structure it. That's the reason.
How do you keep yourself motivated?
I love challenges, actually. That's why there's a lot going in my life right now. You only have one life. You have to live it to the fullest. Right. So do everything, whatever you can in this one life, and do it your best. When it comes to big initiatives or things like that, or managing multiple projects, everything boils down to two things. How do you manage your time? How do you manage your burnouts? When it comes to time management, the first thing is I highly prioritize my work. During my busy days, I even prioritize, minute to minute and every 5 minutes. And I always maintain a priority list that I have to check out by the end of the day. There are always a bunch of tasks, probably like 30, 40 tasks, which needs my time for a very long time, but I couldn't provide it. I take them whenever I can and finish those two. The other thing is I believe family is very important, and I give enough time for my family, and I'm always there for my friends whenever they are in need. So that part is already taken. Talking about burnouts though, I love vacations. I just go for a 2 to 3 week vacations, maybe within the same country or outside country. I need those vacation time to rejuvenate myself and come back with fresh energy. I invest time on people who are really important to me in my life. Again, everything boils down to not just time management, but you need the right team to handle these things. So hiring the right person with the right talent, letting them drive the entire business is, I believe, the key to make anything like this possible.
Ram, you spoke about hiring right candidate for your company. Then I would like to know, how is the job market in US?
I mean, if you talk about the trends of the industry, what are the skill set that they're looking for, right? Let's break down a little bit and it'll be easy for us. An application will have a front-end part, a website, and the database, of course, which stores all the customer information or whatever, and then the backend, which is where all the data science and the different technologies comes in. And then you have visualization to produce charts and graphs and all that. And then comes the orchestration part, where the DevOps comes into picture. You have the rock stars, which are, full stack developers who are pretty much does everything from front end to the back. Infrastructure and maintenance guys as well, and tech support. These are very important to run any business. So all these jobs are evident. They're not going anywhere, and those are always in demand. When you talk about visas, for example, pre-COVID, post-COVID, we have to categorize in that way. Pre-COVID is when most of the companies are like, okay, I want this particular visa. I want only green card holders for a particular job, or only H-1Bs, no OPTs. Some clients are a little bit flexible, but the filtering is more and all that. The biggest thing about that is the location constraint part. But post-COVID, they are pretty much hiring from all over the places, irrespective of where your company is. Let's say Google, even Shopify. Shopify actually just announced that they are open to hire anybody across the world. So the companies are becoming more, full online or things like that. So there's a lot of change happening in the industry right now, which is very good. In terms of the visa restrictions, they were not really as many as it previously used to be.
So you do place across US, and if it's needed, you do sponsor visa?
Yes, we do sponsor visa as required.
Wow, that is great. I hope all candidates are listening to this. Hope you'll be able to help them and guide further. So Ram, what do you advise future entrepreneurs?
No. I mean, don't ask me that. I'm not that big enough to advise anybody, but I will answer this way. Always aim higher than what you can achieve. Then your fallback goal is definitely something that you can achieve. This is what I believe in. If you feel that your goal is too easy, then you have set the wrong goal. Okay. I try to surround myself with the right kind of people who are going through a similar journey, who are walking your walk, and who you can be inspired. So you should always have inspirational figures in your life. Actually, on this note, I want to announce this as well, that I'm planning to launch a series called Successful Entrepreneurs. The goal of this to find the right people, or the people that I get inspired to, then interviewing how they became successful in life or in their entrepreneurial journey. There's no bar to it. No matter what kind of money they make, the kind of achievements that they make, if they are satisfied with that, or if they meet their goals, or if they reach their goals, that is what I call it as success. I don't want to sprint on this. I want to do it whenever I find the right guy that I believe is a candidate for the interview.
So, do you have any specific code that you follow and that you want to share with us?
If you ask me all of a sudden, I can't think of many, but there's one quote which I heard recently, which is growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. The innate meaning of that particular quote, I mean, how I read it, is that you should always be childlike, always learning new things, and always be experimenting new things. And that's how you can live the life the fullest.
Very well said. Well, Ram, thank you so much for giving us your time and sharing your experience. I hope this will help our viewers, and I wish you good luck for your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to you, Afsana, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share about my company and my goals. So yeah, thank you very much for inviting. And most importantly, do like, share, and subscribe to Afsana's channel. Thank you.
Thank you.